running across the street to my house. And it happened to be the girlfriend. And she was asking me, I'm sorry.
He was laying on the floor. She was making it look like he had been shot in the head.
After I interviewed Marcy Rouse, her son arrived. He advised that Jack Davis's truck was no longer there. Approximately 8:27, we see the female exit the residence, and then the other two males. It appeared that the male in the dark clothes had something in his hand, appeared to be some type of a box.
We're obviously thinking, all right, this has been a robbery. This is what has occurred. Now, what was their goal? What was the end goal? What did they steal? What was in that box?
911 was scared of the emergency. Scott Road. She said it was dead person. Okay, I can't, listen to me. I can't hear both of you at one time. Okay. She said she went to the house, and when she went in, he was laying on the floor. He was laying on the floor. Blood was making it look like he had been shot in the head. It's okay.
Have a possible death report. The caller is advising that she's not exactly sure what happened.
Initially thought it was either a suicide or a home invasion.
When officers arrive on scene, they walk around to the back of the residence where there's an entrance to an enclosed garage area that had been turned into a den. They noticed Jack lying in the floor, and there was blood pooled about his head. There was canes, a firearm, all sorts of things scattered around. At the time, they believed that he had shot himself with a self-inflicted gunshot wound to the mouth or to the head.
They realized the victim was still breathing, still alive.
Jack Davis was rushed to the hospital, and investigators began talking to the neighbors who made the 911 call.
I never thought suicide attempt because that's just not the person that I knew of Jack to be. And I was gone all day, but it was dark when I came home. And I was in my bedroom in the back of my house. It sounded like a child screaming and crying. So I went to my front door, and it was this lady running across the street to my house. And it happened to be the girlfriend. And she was asking me, I'm sorry. She was asking me to call 911 because something had happened to Jack. And so that's when I called 911. I was very scared. I'm sure everybody in the street, on the neighborhood, was scared because we didn't know what had happened.
After I interviewed Marcy Rouse, her son arrived. He advised that Jack Davis's truck was no longer there. Talking to Marcy Rouse and her son, one of the things that they did say was the fact that nobody else should have the truck. But one of the first questions is who has Mr. Jack Davis's truck and where is it at? We put a bolo or be on the lookout for Jack Davis's truck.
We checked the firearms on scene, and the firearm in question was a long rifle, a 22 caliber long rifle that has a tube that holds 10 bullets and also an initial bullet in the chamber. And all 11 bullets were inside of the firearm, and it was clean, had no evidence of blood or anything of that nature. So we pretty much casted out the doubt that, that there was any self-inflicted gunshot wound, at least with that firearm. They go through the residence, and in some areas of the house, everything was tidy and neat. They would get to another room where everything had been dumped out of the drawers. The bed has been looked under.
The truck was missing. The residence appeared to be somewhat kind of ransacked. There was a possible struggle.
Investigators then searched the area and found a CCTV camera near the house. When they checked the footage, it revealed a shocking truth.
We started the footage from earlier that day. We knew that he had started cooking around lunchtime.
Throughout the day, with the cookout, there were people there. After they left, nobody came by.
It didn't appear to be nothing out of the norm.
In the CCTV footage, investigators saw a man and a woman waiting for the door to open. They began examining the footage closely, trying to identify both of them from distinctive marks and details.
The female appeared to have maybe a ponytail. You see the male individual bum rush or run towards whoever had opened the door, which is who we believe was Jack at the time. And then you see the female walk in shortly after and close the door.
Investigators waited for both of them to return, but what they saw next was even more shocking.
Approximately 8:24, the door appeared to be open. At that point in time, we see an individual approach the door from the outside. The female opens the screen door side and lets a male come in the residence. Once the door shuts again, we see another male show up at the door, and he opens the door and goes in, and then the door shuts again.
So there's two more males entering the residence.
What we could tell about the second male is he appeared to be wearing darker clothes, and the third male entered the residence and he appeared to be wearing lighter colored clothes, but we could not see their faces at that point in time. It appeared that she knew they were coming because she opened the door for them. She knew who they were because she willingly let them in. The restricting part is the fact that we can't see what's going on inside the residence. Approximately 30 seconds to a minute later, the male with the light-colored clothes exited the residence in the same direction he had entered at a fast pace. We know something appears to be happening. There's more panic, and he leaves in a hurry, and nobody leaves with him. Approximately 8:27, we see the female exit the residence, and then the other two males. It appeared that the male in the dark clothes had something in his hand. It appeared to be some type of a box.
We're obviously thinking, all right, this has been a robbery. This is what has occurred. Now, what was their goal? What was the end goal? What did they steal? What was in that box?
And the male in the pattern clothes had some type of a item in his hand. We weren't sure at that point in time, but it appeared to be some type of a weapon. We concluded that these more than likely the people that were involved with what happened to Mr. Jack Davis.
Now investigators had CCTV footage showing the involvement of two men and one woman. They then checked the second camera footage for more clues.
The female goes to the vehicle and gets in the driver's side. Shortly thereafter, the two males come out. You could tell that the male in the pattern shirt was in the back bed of the truck. when they backed out of the driveway.
Investigators hunted the area for more CCTV and found one at a nearby residence. When they checked the footage, they finally saw the truth.
We could see several vehicles go by. At one point, we saw a vehicle go by, and it appeared to go by a couple of times. We could tell that the vehicle appeared to be some type of a sports car or possibly a red vehicle.
What we see looks like a darker color Mustang.
We could hear the vehicle slow down. Out of camera range, and also we could hear it speed back up again. As we continue to watch, shortly after that, we see a small vehicle approach from the Truman Avenue area, which is the road just down from Mr. Jack Davis' house. The vehicle pulls in front of the residence. We could tell it was a little small SUV of some sort. After looking at the video, I concluded that it's possibly a RAV4. Couldn't tell the color of it, but it had a two-tone bottom to it. We saw that vehicle stop, and we heard the door shut. The vehicle drove off down Truman Avenue, and we continued to watch. And at that point, we saw the two males that had entered the house second after the male and the female. We saw them walking across the street toward Mr. Jack Davis' house.
Zoom in there.
We're trying to figure out who drives this RAV4 and who drives this Mustang, because they were both in the area at the time that the crime was committed. Later that day, our investigators followed up with the hospital to check the status of Mr. Davis. We knew that he was in very serious condition, but we didn't know how serious. And that's when we were notified that Mr. Davis had passed away from his injuries.
I was hoping that he would pull through, but it was just shocking. It was saddening. It was hurtful to know that he had passed away. And for a good person like Jack was, nice as he was, to have to like to be taken away the way that it was taken. So it was tough.
It just felt like a bottomless pit in my bottom of my stomach, you know, when I found out he had died.
Then investigators received a call. Tim's neighbor and his son had found Tim's truck on the side of the road. Detectives rushed to the location and discovered several crucial clues inside the vehicle.
The crime lab responded. We noticed, first of all, that the vehicle was parked on the side of the road. It appeared to be partially in the ditch, and the driver's side window had been broken out of. Once we got in the vehicle, we located Mr. Jack Davis's wallet, the box that appeared to have been taken from the residence, and some miscellaneous items, but no money.
The black box is open, it's empty. So either they found what they were looking for, or maybe they're still looking. We don't know. The canine teams called in to conduct this track and this article search to search for articles left behind and search for our suspects. And the canines, they lead the officers down a dirt path, approximately 100 yards down that path, where the scent kind of dries up.
Investigators sent the car for forensic examination, but no fingerprints or blood marks were found. The case was becoming even harder to solve.
It's a bummer. It brings you down a little bit. It just puts a little bit more grit in us to keep on working harder until we solve this case.
Then investigators received a call from the 911 caller, who claimed she knew all the people seen in the CCTV footage. Investigators immediately set out to find them.
And the next day, we were able to make contact with the caller. The caller advised that we needed to look into Phoenix Hannibal, as they were involved with the murder of Jack Davis. Phoenix Hannibal knew Jack Davis from the neighborhood. Jack Davis supposedly had quite a bit of money from the sale of an RV. People in the neighborhood felt like he had a lot of money from that sale. It appeared that multiple individuals apparently planned to enter the house to rob Jack, because it was known that he apparently had quite a bit of cash in the residence from the sale of that RV.
Investigators called in the female suspect, Phoenix Hannibal, for questioning. She arrived driving a Toyota RAV4.
It was exciting to know that we had that piece of evidence right here. She brought it to us, but it also told us that she didn't believe we knew anything.
Investigators asked Phoenix Hannibal about her movements that night, but she wouldn't say anything. When they showed her the RAV4 footage, she finally began to cooperate.
We get you on video driving. It's your car.
Yeah.
You don't find it strange, though, that you drove by the house?
All I know is that they asked me to give them a ride. He asked me to give his son the ride to the
Well, why didn't you call us and tell us?
I don't know.
I think you're trying to cover up something. I'm not going to get your shirt shaking.
Phoenix admitted to dropping two individuals off, but denied knowing anything about who they were or what their intentions were. She did not, at that time, give the names of the individuals involved. Later that afternoon, she was brought back in.
We don't have all day.
I don't know his last name, Jonathan. Maybe you think it's last name. If I make up a last name and then y'all go to find him and it's a lie. Her name is Jonathan.
She gives us the name Jonathan, and she says that she doesn't know who they are. She's never met them before, and she's just giving them a ride.
She tells us that Jonathan and another unknown male rode with her.
At this point, one of the two males we still did not know the name of.
Through our investigative channels and different means of identifying people, we were able to identify that Jonathan was actually a young Hispanic male known as Jonathan Ordonez.
Jonathan Ordonez was the last person to get to the house, the first one to leave out of the house.
Next, investigators called Jonathan in for an interview, using the CCTV footage as a key reference.
Hold in there. And they're holding him down. When I went in the room and back out, he was on the floor and got hit.
This case is a particularly brutal crime to be committed. It's even more brutal when the people that you're arresting for this crime are in their late teens. You know, Jonathan was 16 years old at the time this was committed.
Investigators then tried to find the second person who was driving Phoenix's car.
The Mexican that was driving, his name was Adrian Lopez. Okay?
Yes, I believe you because I know Adrian.
I don't want to snitch, but I don't want to be.
It's covering your ass.
That's when she realizes it's in her best interest to cooperate. Throughout that cooperation, she tells us that the Mustang is associated also with Adrian Lopez.
She said Adrian Lopez was the one who dropped off the other two people that we saw on Mr. Jack Davis's cameras, and she actually gave the names.
It was a girl who.
Adrian Lopez was actually the one that drove Jaime Torres and the female known as Finney to the house. She was adamant that she had no idea who Finney was.
I had to lie down the name, and we just back out. And like, you know what I'm saying? When I said, the girl, she was a young girl. The only thing that I know about the girl, they call her Finney.
But eventually, it came out that Finney was Infinity Jones. And Phoenix is able to positively identify her as being the female that was in the video. So the puzzle had really come together at this point. We've been given all these names. We have Adrian Lopez, Jaime Torres, we have Infinity Jones, and we have Jonathan Ordonez. But we still have one that we don't know.
Jack had taken Jaime under his wing, him and his brothers, and gave them odd jobs around the house.
Potentially, Jaime knew about the RV sale and the large sum of money that should have been there.
I was hoping to get the truth from him, being that he knew Jack personally. I interviewed Jaime Torres. He refused to give a statement. However, he did admit to being there at Jack Davis's during the crime, but says he don't remember anything about what had happened.
Jonathan Ordonez admits to knowing Jaime Torres, and he tells us he sees Jaime Torres attacking Jack Davis.
We saw Jaime, his physical description, his hair, everything looked similar to the video surveillance we had seen. So we knew that we could put him there as the person who entered the residence. Him admitting that he had been there during the crime, that gave us probable cause to arrest him for his role in that crime.
Then investigators arrested Adrian Lopez, who had been driving the Mustang that night.
We brought him out to the police department where we wanted to conduct the interview because we still had one piece of the puzzle that was missing. We didn't know who this other guy was that was seen on the surveillance video.
So while she was distracting, who was supposed to be taking the stuff? I guess Johnny will come in on just open the door. Like I said, I ain't know the plan, but just a little bit I did hear. And then they were like, no, just take Jaime and Vinny up there. And that was the last I heard, but that was it.
During the interview with Adrian Lopez, he tells us that he's the one that had drove Jaime Torres and Infinity Jones, and through that association and his involvement with her, we're able to identify the last male as Johnny Sanders.
Now investigators needed to arrest the remaining two suspects, Finney Jones and Johnny Ray Sanders. They located Finney Jones and began questioning him about the night of the murder.
Through our interview with Infinity, she was able to make us aware that Johnny was the one that was mainly responsible for actually delivering the blows that would kill Mr. Jack Davis.
It was like, you don't speak. I was feeling that argue, I was like, yeah, I was scared, you know? And so, school, like, you know, they, and if anyone of y'all sick, I'm telling y'all.
Then investigators located Johnny Ray Sanders and arrested him for first-degree murder.
What's up, man?
He gives us a statement that he's never stepped foot in Jack Davis's house, but we know that to be a lie based on everything else we've discovered during this investigation.
Did you know anything about the guy? No, I don't even know. I don't even know, dude. I seen his picture the same day I seen the date when I seen my face on the photos. I was like, nah, they ain't. They got it died? Yep. You ain't know nothing about that. I don't know nothing about him.
Arresting Johnny Sanders, you know, it was, in my opinion, one of the most important pieces of the puzzle because his role in the incident was the most violent.
Finally, the police arrested 6 people connected to Tim's murder. Phoenix Hannibal and Infinity Jones both pleaded guilty to second-degree murder. Adrian Lopez pleaded guilty to robbery with a dangerous weapon. Jonathan Ordonez pleaded guilty to first-degree burglary. These 4 received sentences ranging from 4 to 14 years. Johnny Sanders and Jamie Torres pleaded not guilty to Tim's murder. Justice was served, but one precious life was lost.